Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome to the penultimate part of the Revenge of the Sith commentary. Well, semi-penultimate, you know what I mean. Kind of an odd place to put this, actually, considering the fact that this is meant to take place before the Jedi Temple thing, which I think is a little bit before Anakin goes to Mustafar, but, yeah, to kind of give context to what's going on, basically, since Anakin activated the Temple Beacon to get all Jedi to return home, basically Obi-Wan's thinking, oh shit, all our friends are going to die, so, let's go back to Coruscant and, stop that.
I can only hope we're not too late. I don't wish to be the last of the Jedi.
To the very summit of the temple we must go. There shall we find the beacon, and end this deception.
Master, I fear for Anakin.
Clouded is his fate. Concerned for him I am. Quickly, young Obi-Wan.
I will say, this is also another one of my favourite levels in the game, mainly because, well, again, you get to explore the aftermath of the attack on the Jedi Temple, but in turn, you also get, like, a lot more contextual cutscenes of, you know, Obi-Wan and Yoda teaming up, splitting up, and, you know, just exploring the Jedi Temple and actually getting a lot of their thoughts and feelings on the massacre. Like, I mean, the movie did this pretty nicely as well, even with a few deleted scenes of some clones, like, trying to pretend to be Jedi by wearing their robes, which I think it was either included in, like, Lego Star Wars or another one of the deleted scenes, but, yeah, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I mean, again, you do have a lot more powerful clone units, and one that's going to be introduced much later into the part, as well as the final of, actually, yeah, I'd say, like, one of the last two bonus missions that we're going to be covering here, which is where you get to play as Master Yoda. I mean, you don't get to play with as many cool abilities as you might think, but again, since you are playing as Master Yoda, and as you can see right here, he does many flippies. Which is, something that I feel as if, like, every agile, like, Master Little Dude character has kind of taken inspiration from since. I mean, just, think King Mickey from Kingdom Hearts. And again, I don't know, like, I mean, which is a bit of an interesting point, actually, because, like, I mean, before, like, the prequels came out, a lot of people consider Master Yoda to be this, like, wise, sagely dude who didn't use lightsabers, and think that him doing so is, like, kind of a betrayal of the character. I kind of personally don't consider it like that, really, because, like, I mean, especially considering where Yoda was in the original trilogy, where he was, like, old as fuck, and, like, you know, kind of on the verge of dying, I don't know, kind of makes sense for him to use the Force to be all flippy. Beep. Run away, let's create a path to allow our enemies to get over there, even though they have the Force and can probably easily move it. The clones were not very perceptive. They were the genetic defects of Jango's DNA, the kind that he had when he had a dope moment. Like when he bonked his head on the Slave One in Episode 2. A detail that I only really noticed because they, like, I guess maybe I wasn't really paying attention before, and because I think it was meant to pay homage to that one scene in Episode 4 where a stormtrooper accidentally bonks his head. Why Lucas has such a hard-on for theming and parallels and poetry, I will have no idea. But I mean, it is a nice callback nonetheless. I mean, especially considering the fact that in Episode 4 you can actively see that same stormtrooper, like, immediately ducking his head just in case he does it again. But in any case, onto the level itself, I mean, it is a very similar case to Mustafar and the latter points of the Utapau level, where, again, they are throwing, like, tons upon tons of the harder enemies at you, and I think I'd probably dislike this level a bit more than I would otherwise if it wasn't for the fact that, again, you get to do a lot of cool stuff in this level. I mean, obviously not what's coming next, but at the very least in terms of context.
We seem to have attracted some unwanted attention.
Divide that attention we can.
Shall we split up?
And may the Force soon bring us together again.
And now the bonus mission where you get to play as Master Yoda. He drops his walking stick and brings out his lightsaber. And again, you're basically facing off against hordes upon hordes of clones in this, little... Actually, no, this isn't meant to be the Jedi Council chambers, is it? No, it isn't. It's just a room. But yeah, one of the more broken abilities, and one you're going to be seeing a lot, is just the regular jump attack, where Yoda swings his lightsaber. I mean, again, he does have a lot of regular moves, but his force abilities are rather limited. Like, I mean, again, it's basically just like a lot of force pull, force push. But again, the fact that you can just flip around and cause some massive damage towards the clone troopers is quite fun. So, yeah. I really do like this bonus mission, even if you don't really get to do much with Master Yoda. I don't know, maybe, like, I mean, as I was talking about in the previous part, if there was a more involved combat system that kind of accommodated for Yoda's fighting style, maybe we might have a little something there. But, I don't know. I'm still happy with what we got, and we are also going to be introduced, well, a little bit later down the line, since we do have 4 minutes of, Yoda action. Yeah, we're going to be introduced to the final enemy type, at least in terms of the clones. And I guess the last enemy type they introduced, because really, where else are they going to do it? Because, up to this point, it's pretty much the final mission. So, yes, if only we had more time to witness the fall of the Republic and to enjoy our friends suffering in the darkness, losing their friends, and all that good stuff. I will say though, like, I mean, Yoda does also have the best time in dealing with these jetpack troopers, which is really cathartic. Because, good lord, they are a pain in the butt. Delicious. But yeah, to also talk about the units that we're going to be going up against next. Well, I mean, he does have the force ability, the force heal ability, but yeah, apart from that. Also has a surprisingly small health bar. Well, then again, he is kind of old as fuck, so I'm not really surprised. Oh yeah, another ability that I actually forgot to mention at this point. You also have the Jedi Mind Trick ability, where you can convince enemy troops to attack each other. Although, again, like in most fighting games, I don't really find this ability as useful to use as a lot of things, really. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Infector in Ratchet & Clank 3, where you don't really find too much of a use for it, because it's so passive and takes so long to upgrade that you just... it's just a bit pish, really. By the way, what you're seeing right now is meant to be the graphical effect for these ARC troopers, you know, dodging out of the way of your attacks, because again, they're meant to have like these weird, like these weird speed reversal things. I'm only just calling that because, again, there's a similar move in Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it might be like a recording issue, but yeah, sorry about that. You're not seeing like a map of the United States or anything on there, it's just the clones dodging out of the way. I mean, in the game itself, on your TV, I believe it's meant to be like this little blur thing, but yeah, didn't really come across for some fucking reason. Maybe it's like compression or some shit, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, these troopers, they have blades, and again, they can be tough customers, but again, I don't find them nearly as annoying to deal with as some of the heavier enemies, so yeah, they're quite fun. And I kinda wish we had more of these enemy units to deal with. Because, I mean, they're quite fun to fight, and kind of a little bit better opponents to face off against with a more melee-centric Jedi, you know? And again, like, I mean, there are a lot more on the move and on the dodge, so, yeah. And I mean, even in that case, like, I mean, if you weren't really feeling adept at it, again, you can use the Force Stun ability to just keep them in place and go to town on them. Actually, why didn't the Empire send a lot of these troopers to deal with the Jedi? They seem a little bit more adept at dealing with them than, you know, regular clones with blasters and whatnot. Well, then again, I guess the clones with blasters did a decent enough job anyway, so, what the fuck do I know? I mean, even still, Yoda's having trouble dealing with them, so again, what does that really say about him? Yes, come on, clone trooper, your death is inevitable. There we go, that's the ticker. And Yoda is just sad and disappointed. Anyway, back to the level in question with Obi-Wan, and he's pretty much doing the same thing. Except he doesn't have to deal with the Blade Troopers until the end of the game. Or, end of the mission, I should say. So we're pretty much safe. For now. But yeah, Obi-Wan and Yoda aren't really separated for too long, it's pretty much just one segment, and they're pretty much back together again, with a few bants. Don't know why I said it like that. Actually, the one scene I remember from this, part of the Jedi Temple particularly, was, like that one brief scene in Episode 2, like where I think Obi-Wan was talking with Windu and Yoda before he went off to Kamino, and I literally only remember that scene because of the fact that they had Yoda in that little hover chair thing, which was done with the express purpose of making him easier to animate, because I guess animating walk cycles is, like, painful, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird the sort of memories these movies evoke from me. Because, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the power of childhood nostalgia and whatever weird thoughts that stick in your brain when you're a kid. Continue to be there, like, into adulthood. Actually, to talk about the clone troopers and their different models, actually, I believe some of these, models were intended, I think, because again, you can read this in the game's art gallery, but again, some of these trooper types were intended to appear in the movies, and, even a couple of cut enemy concepts were, again, something you can see in the art gallery, which again, is something I've always loved. And, well yeah, I'm pretty much done running out of time at this point, so, use the Force to heal your way, and then just do your da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, where we can finally reunite with Master Yoda.
A peculiar skill you have, Master Obi-Wan, for finding trouble.
Tee-hee, hoddle-ha, what a fun-filled day where we stroll through the ruins of our destroyed home, and, yeah, well, I suppose another reason why I also like this level, because again, like, I mean, while it doesn't quite have the foreboding tone that I think the movie had, I don't know, like, I mean, there is always, like, a real level of, you can never go home again. Things have changed forever about this level. Which again, like, I mean, is something that in both video games and, like, fiction in general is something that I think I've always kind of loved, at least in terms of, trope for drama, really, because, I don't know, like, it's really impactful and, I don't know, it's just very, touching and scary and, heart-wrenching. But again, something that's also really good. My god, that looks like a furnace from modern-day Earth. Like, I mean, I know it's meant to be like an explosive capsule, but Jesus Christ, it looks like Obi-Wan was, like, trying to check the boiler, you know, just in case the Overlook Hotel explodes again. And again, even this far into the game, they're still content to throw in the fucking gun turrets. It's over with. The gimmick is long since run dry, game. God, I think it might just be one of my biggest complaints about it, to be honest.
I've never seen anything so cruel. Why would the clones do this?
Responsible for this, the clones are not.
No.
An act of hatred, this was. Strong is the dark side now.
God, I'm really saddened that they didn't actually show the youngling scene where Anakin and Anakin? No, Yoda and Obi-Wan saw all the dead kids. Oh shit, that was actually really fun. That sounded a lot more morbid than I meant it to sound, but like, I mean when they come across this scene in the Jedi Temple in the movie, again, they see like a lot of the dead Jedi Padawans and kids, like, all throughout the temple. Surprisingly gruesome. I mean, again, I can see why they didn't include, like, the Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. What are we going to do? Scene in the game? Because, like, I mean, even games like, you know, fucking Silent Hill and all that sort of shit couldn't really get away with killing, like, children, even if they were monsters, so... Yeah, I sincerely doubt Star Wars would have gotten away with it, but, yeah. Actually, interesting bit of trivia about that scene in the movie. Like, apparently to get a better reaction out of the kids, Hayden Christensen, like, during the, you know, youngling murder scene, actually shouted boo just to give him a scare, right when he got his lightsaber out. I don't know. The fun bits of trivia you learn when, doing research. Actually, another bit of pointless trivia, actually. Because, like, when recording grunts, actually, I think it was either Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen themselves. Like, when they were recording the grunts for, like, the lightsaber fights or whatever, they actually started, like, doing push-ups in the ADR booth. Which, I mean, is actually kind of an ingenious way of getting, like, some naturalistic grunts while you, you know, do fight scenes and stuff. I know, it's the weird sort of shit you don't think about in movies, but, like, is just fun, man. Yeah, but anyway, we're pretty much nearing the end. Like, I mean, we've got one more turret scene, which is pretty much the final one, which honestly, I find a little bit easier than the one where you were trying to take down the Jedi starships. Well, I mean, relatively speaking. I mean, at least I personally found it to be a bit easier, but who knows, really. Actually, another question about the Star Wars mythology. I know, like, this is meant to be like the Jedi library, where you can, like, research stuff, but, I know it's meant to be set up like, you know, the Hall of Books, and they're probably meant to be digital or whatever, but like, are they meant to be like data tapes? Because what are the lights meant to represent? Are they holographic books? How do you check them out? How do you hold them? Do Jedis need a library card? What happens if they don't return them? Do they get, like, fined in Republic credits? Would that old woman tell them to pay up for 7 whoopee? I don't know. I guess mind tricks don't work on her. Only money. I'm really just padding for time at this point. Although I am kind of curious about Star Wars library cards. Well, then again, I suppose if it doesn't exist in the archives, then they cannot exist. Which is why you need to go off and find your friend, like that fat forearm dude in the diner that Obi-Wan was friends with. Which, I mean, I actually had like I think it might have been the same book with Qui-Gon's old apprentice, which is where Obi-Wan first met the forearm dude. I think his name was Dexter, I think. Yeah. I own a lot of Star Wars books, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do still have it. It was like the one where they go to that, like, mining planet with, like, Qui-Gon's old apprentice, and it's, like, really cool. The memories of youth. What a beautiful day on Coruscant. I mean, obviously they didn't include the scenes with, you know, Bail Organa. And it does actually kind of make me wonder how the hell most of the galaxy really swallowed, like, Palpatine's, spiel. Like, I mean, I know he was, like, considered a popular chancellor for what he did during the Clone Wars and all that sort of thing, but, it just strikes me as kind of odd, like, how he was able to hold on to power for so long, but at the same time also be met with, like, unanimous praise by the end of Episode 3. I mean, especially considering the fact that they seem to have so many assaults on Coruscant and all that sort of stuff, like, from both the beginning of the movie, the attack on the Jedi Temple, which just seems a little bit odd, because, like, I mean, aren't Jedi meant to be, like, the guardians of peace and justice, and seeing them, like, betray the Chancellor just seems a bit odd? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I kind of find it a little bit weird that, like, it took until Episode 4, I mean, like, 20 years later for people to start, like, questioning why Palpatine was being a little bit of a dick. But, I don't know. Again, like, I mean, the only real difficulty with this turret section, to get back onto gameplay matters, is, again, just shooting down the missiles, but again, they're pretty easily telegraphed, and again, you can see where they're coming from, so it's part of the reason why I find this one a bit easier to deal with than the, you know, the Jedi Starfighter attack. And this is where you would face off against the, well, the assassins. I don't know why I call them the ARC Troopers, but, because aren't they meant to be, like, Anakin's elite unit? Oh, no, wait, that was the 501st Legion, I think? Yeah, I don't know. Basically, the boys in blue is all I'm gonna call them. But again, they're agile, swift, fast, and, dodge out of the way of your attacks. Again, as Obi-Wan, since, again, you aren't restricted to Yoda's bonus character, Bonanza, really, again, you have a lot more means of dealing with them. Again, I believe grapple moves won't really be effective against them, but again, you have the Force, you can use your stun move to just balance the playing field, really, so Bob's your uncle, really. Also, I gotta say, I really love the look of the Jedi Temple beacon room. It's like a very... I mean, it is distinctively Star Wars, but it also has like a very Matrixy vibe, which I really like. And might be also the reason why I use it as the thumbnail for the Raid on the Jedi Temple video. It's either that or I'm going to go for the cityscape on Coruscant. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do for that one yet. Or for most of these video thumbnails, to be honest. But again, like, I mean, I'm trying to get all these finished and recorded by tonight, because again, I don't want to go for a fucking solid 2 weeks without content like I did before, because again, that's a bit shameful on my part. I might be busy with work, but I got a, well, self-imposed responsibility, really. But yeah, I'm not allowed to have fun until I fulfill my commentary duties, and then I may rest. Yes, rest, like Master Yoda in Episode 6. When he died, and then I'll fade away, and my blanket will fall down, like a time-lapse thing, where I can say, nice dissolve. Seriously, it sounds like some... It kind of... Like, the blade sounds kind of remind me of that thing that the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger did, like when he did that little, like, scissor thing before he killed his victims, which is probably one of the more creative things that movie did. in a movie very lacking in anything, really. But that's for a potential Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 video for another day, really. Actually, I kind of want to go into a tangent about like a Nightmare on Elm Street video game. Well, besides the NES one, but I mean like a more modernized version, but yeah, we don't really have the time for that. So, come on, clone, accept your death. Jango Fett is gone, your genetic material is pretty much fucked. So, yes. Anyway, onto the movie footage now, where Obi-Wan finally discovers the truth about Anakin Skywalker, which shows a very different death for Syndrolig, who I think they actually did get in like a cameo appearance in this little hologram scene, if you pay attention. Also, why the hell they had recordings for the Chancellor and, you know, Anakin, like, him getting knighted into Darth Vader is kind of bizarre. Isn't that meant to take place in Palpatine's building? Or does the Jedi Temple have, like, recordings of... Oh, wait, are they meant to be in the Senate building? Ugh, I have no idea. I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.